Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the Military Social Work Network. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support where military and aspiring military social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Well, welcome back. We are continuing our series on Black History Month military leaders, because again, one of the purposes of this channel is to inspire. So every leader that I've chosen so far has an inspiring story, and I think today's highlight, it will be no different. So in today's episode, we will be discussing the life and the service of Benjamin O. Davis Sr. Benjamin Oliver Davis Sr. was born in July 1st, 1877, and he died in November 26, 1970. He was a United States Army officer. In 1940, he became the first African American to rise to the rank of Brigadier General. He was the father of Air Force Brigadier General Benjamin O. Davis, Jr. According to historian Russell Wigley, his career is significant not for his personal accomplishments, because he was only allowed a limited range of responsibilities, but as an indicator of a small forward movement for blacks in the American Army in the World War II era. The New Deal era of Franklin Roosevelt was favorable towards blacks, and in 1940 he appointed Davis as the first black general. During World War II, Davis held troubleshooting staff assignments designed to assist the expanded role of blacks, albeit in segregated units. He did not have command of troops. So let's start with his early life and education. So Davis was born in Washington, D.C., the third child of Lewis P.H. Davis and Henrietta Davis. Biographer Marvin Fletcher has presented evidence that Davis was born in May 1880, citing a June 1880 census document. Fletcher concludes that Davis lied about his age so he could enlist in the Army without the permission of his parents. The birth date that appears on Davis's gravestone at Arlington National Cemetery is July 1st, 1877, the date he provided to the Army. Davis attended M Street High School in Washington, where he participated in the school's cadet program. During his senior year of high school, he took some classes at Howard University. His father, a messenger for the Interior Department, and his mother, a nurse, urged him to enroll in college after high school. Against his parents' wishes, he determined to pursue a military career. After graduating from high school in response to the start of the Spanish-American War, Davis entered the military service on July 13, 1898, as a temporary first lieutenant in the 8th United States Volunteer Infantry, an all-African-American unit. The regiment was stationed at Chickamauga Park, Georgia, from October 1898 until the unit was disbanded in March 1899. During the war, Davis briefly served in Company D, 1st Separate Battalion of the Washington, D.C. National Guard. Davis was mustered out on March 6, 1899, and on June 18, 1899, he enlisted as a private in Troop 1, 9th Cavalry Regiment, one of the original Buffalo Soldier regiments of the regular Army. At his post in Fort Duquesne, Utah, he served first as the troop's clerk and later as Squadron Sergeant Major through 1900. In late 1900, Davis's unit was commanded by Lieutenant Charles Young, the only African-American officer serving in the U.S. military at that time. Young encouraged Davis's ambition to become an officer. Young tutored Davis in all the subjects that were covered in the officer candidate test, especially mathematics, which had been the most difficult subject Young had encountered at the United States Military Academy at West Point. In early 1901, Davis passed the test at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, his highest score coming in the math section. A second African American, John E. Green, passed the test along with 10 other soldiers. On February 2nd, 1901, Davis was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the regular army. In the spring of 1901, Troop 1 was posted overseas to serve in the Philippine-American War. In August 1901, Davis was assigned to Troop F, 10th Cavalry, where he assumed the duties of a second lieutenant. Troop F returned to the U.S. in August 1902. Davis was then stationed in Fort Washakie, Wyoming, where he also served for several months with Troop M. In September 1905, he was assigned to the traditionally black Wilberforce College in Ohio as professor of military science and tactics, a post that he filled for 4 years. In November 1909, shortly after being ordered to regimental headquarters, 9th Cavalry, Davis was reassigned for duty to Liberia. He left the United States for Liberia in April 1910 and served as a military attaché reporting on Liberia's military forces until October 1911. He returned to the United States in November 1911. In January 1912, Davis was assigned to Troop 1, 9th Cavalry, stationed at Fort D.A. Russell, Wyoming. In 1913, the 9th Cavalry was assigned to patrol the Mexican-United States border. In February 1915, Davis was again assigned to Wilberforce College as professor of military science and tactics. From 1917 to 1920, Davis was assigned to the 9th Cavalry at Fort Staatsdenburg, Philippine Islands, as supply officer, commander of the 3rd Squadron, and then of the 1st Squadron. He reached the temporary rank of lieutenant colonel, but returned to the United States in March 1920 with the rank of captain. Davis was assigned to the traditionally black Tuskegee Institute, which is now Tuskegee University, in Tuskegee, Alabama, as the professor of military science and tactics from 1920 to 1924. He then served for 5 years as an instructor with 2nd Battalion, 302nd Regiment, Ohio National Guard in Cleveland, Ohio. In September 1929, Davis returned to Wilberforce as a professor of military science and tactics. He was assigned to the Tuskegee Institute in the early part of 1931 and remained there for 6 years as a professor of military science and tactics. During the summer months of 1930 to 1933, Davis escorted pilgrims of World War I Gold Star mothers and widows to the burial places of their loved ones in Europe. In August 1937, Davis returned to Wilberforce University as a professor of military science and tactics. Davis was assigned to the 369th Regiment, New York National Guard, during the summer of 1938, and took command of the regiment a short time later. Davis was promoted to Brigadier General on October 25, 1940, becoming the first African American general officer in the United States Army. Wow. I'm going to stop there, but I think it's really inspirational to read and to learn about African American Army officers like Benjamin O. Davis Sr. I don't usually give it editorials, but he probably experienced a lot of racism, both within the Army as well as outside of the Army, but he persevered. You know, as I was reading, you know, it became apparent that he kept being put in different places, but wherever he was placed, he excelled, and he was noticed, and he just kept pushing forward. And that's a great lesson for all of us, African Americans and anybody else. You know, when you're placed in positions, you do your best, you excel, you get noticed. So I'm going to stop there. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. For all the social workers out there, thank you for everything that you do for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.